Hey, what's up, what's up? A quick video today about how to start your Lego minifigure collection, regardless of theme for now. This is for those of you minifig fans that are in North America at least. But the general way of obtaining minifigures is usually rather expensive, but there is ways on Facebook. I mean, there's Facebook Marketplace, there's places like that. I think if you are outside of a bigger city, it's also kind of cool if you just check your locals and see if some people want to get rid of some old Lego. It's always a good way to find some Lego minifigures to get your collection started. But if you're in a bigger city like I am, prices are crazy. But for the last few years, I found a really cool way of collecting minifigures, which is buying it in bulk and then sitting there and identifying each minifigure, which, by the way, my old video there, I'm like with the loop trying to figure stuff out. I now use Google Lens, which works really well and gives me a good hit on a torso design. And then I can identify it pretty quickly to sort of like make it from the pit to something I have identified that is sort of like already, you know, got the Bricklink ID and is ready to be assimilated in the collection. But the other really cool aspect about buying it in bulk to get started is I've created this sort of, it's like a fishing tackle box or whatever it is. I'll find the link and put it down below. But what I have here, just a brief quick explanation, is it starts up top. So it's like helmets, hats, various different sort of hats, and then it goes further down. It'll be like guy hair, girl hair, and then we go further down and we'll have heads, female, male, yellow, over there some white heads, and it just goes further down and gives me all the way down to sort of like the legs, minifig parts to complete specific minifigures from a castle set from 81 or city from 92. It doesn't really matter so much, because one of the real fun aspects about doing it for me is buying it in bulk, and I'll tell you in a minute the best way to do it, and then testing myself, learning about specific Lego designs, torso designs, minifigure designs, specific designers and themes and how they differentiate. And it's just basically what I'm into and what I love to do, and this is my way of collecting more on the 80s, 90s, and 2000s kind of era. Obviously, I still buy new sets and collect like that. And then I also really do love vintage 70s Lego and early 80s Lego. I really dig a lot because that's just what I grew up with. But yeah, here is the one super awesome secret tip. If you don't know by now, go to shopgoodwill.com, and in the search window you can type in Lego minifigure or Lego vintage or whatever it is that you are looking for. This is not an advertisement or an endorsement. This is just how I started my collection a few years back, by just buying some minifigs in bulk. It's basically a eBay-like auction system. And a lot of people have already caught on. I mean, the Star Wars minifigs that they sell there in bulk are already pretty high, but still at a level where I think not everybody may know about it. And if you're like an army builder or, like I said, any kind of a Lego minifigure, buy it there, go wash it with some mild dish detergent in a bucket with warm water, and dry it out with some towels, and then you'll end up with something like this. And this is, by the way, years of fun. You know, I'm not saying you should sit there and identify every single torso. This will inevitably end up in several different sort of like, you know, as you complete, say, all Forest Man, or as you complete everything space and so forth. This is like when you're like a few hundreds to thousands minifigs into your collection, you are able to sort of like say, okay, I definitely have every version of this torso. So that gets chucked out, and then it goes to my neighborhood kids and stuff like that. But there will be various different pits. I have a superhero pit, I have a castle pit, I have a space pit. These are all just bags like this, but already narrowed down to a specific theme. as I go along. I'm like, this I know exactly has the wrong head and the wrong legs, but it's space, so boom, goes into the space pit. So there's so many different layers to go about collecting, maybe a little bit more on the cheaper side. I know Lego is crazy expensive, but that is a cool way that I figured out a little while back, and I just wanted to share that, and I hope, to see you out there and bid on some Lego minifigs, get yourself a pit going and start collecting.